From a standing start, it's Chevy all the way. Proof of real ability to keep pace with passenger car traffic.
So while I'm waiting for the machining to be done on the block, my next task is going to be replacing the fuel tank. Customer went ahead and got one, and last night I came in and rolled under the truck and sprayed all the threads for the seat bolts. So hopefully they should come out with without too much of fuss here. Well, I didn't find anything cool under the seat. A couple things that might be worth noting. If you saw all this and you were wondering what that is, that's all bracketry to hold the jack stand, lug wrench, all that stuff, which has all been removed. And the late 60s, the industry started getting safety conscious, and this one has the factory seatbelt bolts in it, but no seatbelts. So they were at least providing that option at the time. And now I'm going to pull this cardboard cover out, and then we will see the gas tank. And I think the owner ordered a new one of these. So, mouse nest, got a little more vacuuming to do. But there's the tank. Now, if you're watching this and you have no previous experience with antique American pickups, you might be surprised to see, yes indeed, the gas tank is inside the cab with the occupants. That was just common practice back in the day, and it was not a big deal. In fact, I drove a 63 pickup just like this in high school quite a bit, and I never thought a thing about it. Now, when they get older, if your tank is leaking, the line is leaking, anything like that, then sure, you'll notice this gas smell inside the cab and you want to get that fixed. But other than that, not a big deal. Now, on a 54 Chevy that I restored, that owner wanted to move the gas tank outside. We had a couple challenges as far as where to put the filler neck, and I actually ended up running it through the fender, which not sure I like that much, but your options are pretty limited, either through the center of your nice hardwood floor in the bed or out the side. And he opted for out the side because he didn't want me to cut a hole in his new bedwood. So And then when you do that, you can make a nice little cargo space behind the seat. But this owner wants to keep his tank in the cab, so that's what we'll do. Okay, we'll give the threads for the straps a little squirt and let them soak. Now, while the tank is still solid, I'm going to disconnect our sending unit connection and then disconnect the fuel line. Well, I just spent about 15-20 minutes cleaning in here, looking a whole lot better. Now these are little anti-vibration pads that go under the tank on the mounts. Make sure get them back, or if you have to replace them, get something similar back. And I think we're ready for the new tank. As Ernest used to say, ew. Now I got a new sending unit, but one thing I did not get is new hardware, so I'm gonna have to salvage what I got here. Alright, so I'm getting ready the new filler neck. I've got a new rubber hose on this part. I'm reusing the original clamps. And here's a new filler neck part. Now I'm going to leave this clamp loose, put it in there, and if I need to adjust it in the grommet through the wall of the cab, then I can pull that back out a little. So let's go install a new grommet, and then we'll put the tank in. And this is just simply a matter of sliding that in the hole there. The whole grommet is beveled, it's thicker here on the bottom. Just like that. Now this is where another set of hands would really come in handy, so to speak. I need to get the filler neck. I'm going to have to angle the whole tank and go up inside the cavity with the filler neck. And you don't want to bend your straps out of shape. You don't want to bend your fuel line out of shape. Now, a good rule of thumb when working on anything is don't tighten anything down until everything is in place, or roughly in place. So I'm not going to tighten the straps till I get the filler neck where I need it. That way I can adjust the tank back and forth if I need to. Use the cap here to pry. Now I took out the old pads that went under the tank so it doesn't make noise and it doesn't wear a hole in the bottom of the tank, and we have new ones. So I'm going to slide those under. One last thing I have to do, I left that top clamp on the filler neck loose, as you might remember. So if you have a willing lady with skinny arms or a young child, you might want to bribe them to help you out here. But be sure and put tape over the edge, because these can be sharp. I'm going to try doing it myself, but it's not going to be easy. There's the clamp. Okay. Wasn't as hard as I thought. I'm using a gear wrench, 3/8 gear wrench. That seems to work pretty well. If I didn't have one of those, I'd use a 1/4-inch drive socket and ratchet. There's no way you could get a screwdriver in there. Okay, I'm going to get our gasket over the whole assembly here. Go. Get one, get the float in, put that in. Alright, get it indexed right. Line the holes in the gasket up, get a screw and put a screw through so it stays lined up. You can't get these in the wrong way. I mean, the gas line has to be pointing the right way. Now this sending unit wire has little wire clips on it that clipped onto the edge of the tank. And I will be replacing the wiring harness, so this is just going to leave that temporary like that. So that's what that should look like. Another thing I think would be a good idea is I made sure there's an air gap between the line and the tank, because that could easily become one of those annoying squeaks when driving down the road. Also wouldn't be a bad idea, you could slice a piece of 3/8 hose or something and wrap that around there, or wire loom, or just put a piece of like window rubber or something behind there to prevent that. So there we go, we got our new tank nice and cozy back where it should be. That project is done. Like I said in the beginning, the owner's got the new cardboard cover, and that's easy enough. If he doesn't want to give it to me, that's easy enough for him to do himself. The next thing I'm going to do on this project is cylinder head. I need to finish, I'm going to lap the valves and finish reassembling the cylinder head. Exhaust manifold has a crack in it. I'm going to weld that and recondition that. If you want to check out some of my other projects, some of my metal detecting videos, go to my channel, check that out. Anything else I'm doing. So thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
Little deputy, you've been riding drag all day. Now, our last test is ride and stability. I'm going to take pity on you.
You gonna let me drive the Chevy?
Yep.